Hello everyone, this is Anil. Today we are going to talk about database trigger. Very important topic. This helps you to have extended validation, and this is very useful when you want to log extra information, you want to do extra validation. Triggers are always useful, but that has to be used carefully, because if it is not handled carefully, different that have cons as well. Let's understand what are the different type of triggers. But before that, let's understand what are the events possible in a database table, because triggers applies on the events which are underlying database tables only. So this is a table, employee table. It has certain rows already there. Now, if you look, there are mostly three kind of events: update, delete, and then insert. Update means updating any record within the given database table record. Delete, deleting any particular record from this table. Inserting, adding a new record in the database table. These are further classified into sub events. So there are two phases possible, right? Before this event occurs or after that event occurs. Before update or after update. Before delete or after delete. Before insert or after insert. So this is used in conjunction with the events, and we have to specify whether the trigger should execute before the event or after the event. Then the next thing, there could be multiple statement, multiple rows are executed in a given statement. So triggers can also be applied at a statement level. For example, if you are inserting 1500 rows in a statement, trigger will be executed once after that statement is done or before that statement is done. Whereas row level triggers are at a row level. So all 1500 records, when they will be inserted, updated or deleted, trigger will execute immediately after each row. So that has to be taken care very carefully, because these events, these phases, or these row or statement level difference actually helps you to improve the performance or degrade the performance as well. So it has to be used very carefully. Now let's look at what all you can do with the triggers. So what I've done, I've just created a very simple example for you to understand. In this case, what we are going to do, we created an employee table in the last tutorial. We are going to use the same employee table, and I'm going to create another employee table as employee bonus. So what I want to do, every time if the records are inserted in this employee table, another row should be created in employee underscore bonus, where bonus should be 15% of the salary. So that is the logic I'm going to build. So user need not to create another entry in employee bonus. Rather, this will be created automatically. The only thing, this trigger should be enabled and functioning. So let's create this employee underscore bonus table first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a employee underscore bonus table. It has ID and bonus, 2 columns. Let's run this. I'm not keeping this as a referential integrity for now, just for the sake of simplicity. This table is created. Let's create a trigger on employee table, which will update or insert the data in this table. So for that, what I need to do, I'm creating a trigger. Let's understand the components, how the triggers can be created. Create or replace. If the trigger is not created, it will create for the first time. If the trigger is already created, it will replace the trigger implementation. And this is the trigger name, add bonus trg. In general, we keep trg idx as a suffix, just to understand from database object perspective that if it is a trigger index or table or something like that. So we always use these kind of prefix or suffix. Then at what event it should execute, it should, after insert, this trigger should execute on which table, on employee table. This is for each row. And this is the section of the body of the trigger where we are saying insert into employee bonus, the table that we just created. We need to enter ID and bonus. And here you will notice a new thing, that every time if we are inserting a trigger, the variables can be used as column new or column old. So in case of insert, it will always be colon new. In case of update, there could be old versus new. Since we are implementing this on insert, we are inserting the values as new ID, which means this ID belongs to the employee table. The salary belongs to the employee table because this table itself is employee. So this new ID and new salary are the details from employee table. Then I am calculating 15% here. In case of exception, raising this error, let's run this and compile this trigger. This trigger is compiled. Now let's try and run a query on insert into employee. I'm passing integer value as 5. This record is Satyam. And then the salary could be 2000. So what I'm doing, I'm inserting into a employee table with ID as 4, name as Satyam, and salary as 2000. So if I run this, a row is inserted, and let's check the bonus table directly. It should ideally create one record in the bonus table. And here it goes. It has already created bonus as 300 in the table. There are certain challenges and disadvantages. For example, triggers are difficult to troubleshoot because you do not have the clear execution mechanism. These are executed in the background. So sometimes it is difficult to troubleshoot, but triggers are very useful in some of the financial applications. I have used myself trigger on creating the logs on the database table. So sometimes there are a lot of audit required on financial tables. So I've used triggers for logging purpose. Whereas in some of the scenarios, I have used triggers for populating additional information where the interface is not available or that information is calculated. So triggers are very useful. I would request you to go and implement some of these and let me know your feedback. Thanks for watching.